Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ask the Unicorn. My name is Ahura Deliza, and this is my trusty sidekick, Kazi.
Hello, today is August 10th, 2016, and it is episode 95.
Episode 95. We're hoping for a very energetic show.
There. I was looking up. Hello!
Kazi is my special daughter.
Gosh.
We're hoping for a very energetic show today. I hope you all have many questions. I will answer any question of a metaphysical, spiritual, paranormal, or mystical nature. However, there are two types of questions that I do not answer, and that is whether or not someone is going to die or whether or not someone is cheating on someone. If you want to ask those types of questions, you should probably address them to the people that you're asking about. Beyond that, everything is fair game as long as we can all learn from it and we can all benefit from it, and we can end with on a positive note. Now, there have been a lot of things that are going on in our nation at the moment, and hopefully you people don't get tied up too much in it. I don't mean like you people, I mean like you people. Don't get too tied up in it because it's really just drama. It's a lot of drama. It's like huge drama, okay? And before we begin the show, I'd like to give a shout out to all of my, or many of my friends that are in the independent film market, producers, directors, such as Paco Seth Roberts and Alan Dillingham, just to name a couple of them, and myself. We are all working very diligently to bring you good entertainment that is not repeated over and over and over again. And we hope that you'll look for us all. You can look for Killatainment films. You can also look for Unicobia Pictures. That's myself. And we are working very diligently, and I hope that you like us. Now, my film is coming out soon. My series is coming out soon, and that is Foul Care. I've been working on it for a number of years, and I've finally gotten to a point where I can, we are working on releasing the first episode of it, and I think that you'll all really like it. It's turning out very, very beautifully, and I'm feeling really good about it. One of the films that you might look for in 2016, later half, or 2017, is Those We Leave Behind, and that is by Paco Seth Roberts. And it deals with veteran suicide, something that we should all be made aware of. And I hope you'll all look for that film. Another film that you might look for is Bad Kid. And I know that Killatainment is working on a whole bunch of other films, so I hope you'll all look for them. And I endorse them, and I hope that you'll all look to support them. Now, that being said, we might as well get on with the show. The unicorn is in. I'm listening. And what do you have?
Shout out to Stephanie, Miyoko, Vasun, Tabari are watching. Hi, guys.
Hello. Glad to see you all.
You mentioned that you would speak about soul travel of the show.
When I get to it.
That is all I have.
Okay. Remember, I do speak about things like soul travel and other things, but the name of the show is Ask the Unicorn, which basically means that you bring your paranormal questions to the show. Okay. The more questions that there are, the more that I get to teach. And if I get to the point where I can make a segue into soul travel, I will do that. And we talked a lot about other subjects just last week and the week before. I would like to cover some other things, though. One of the things that I would like to cover is there have been some very ugly things that have been said concerning the elections, and some ugly things that have been said concerning people of color and different ethnic groups. We need to understand something. We all need each other. Okay, we not only do we need each other, but we depend on each other. And for those of you that are out there that are making separatist remarks, that are thinking that your particular culture or your particular race is the best. Excuse me, I don't even like saying race anymore because we're all part of the race that is here on Earth, and that's the human race. So we need to get out of that color thing. You know, the color of someone's skin, or where they come from, or what their religion is, or what their sex is, or what they choose in their life. That's up to them. That is up to each and every one. And all of our differences, what we call differences, they're the very things that make us strong. Okay? They make us able to see in different directions. They make us able to see in different perspectives, and they make us able to think dimensionally. And we need to start getting a clue. All of us that are out there, I want you to think about something just for a moment. I want to propose something to you. I want to propose to you all that we eradicate racism. I want to propose to you all that we shun those people that have racist behavior, that we decide that we are going to shun them, that we will have nothing to do with them. We won't do business with them. We won't associate with them. For those of you out there that are looking for relationships, the moment that you find out that someone has a racist agenda, you need to get away from them. And I don't care if you're married. I don't care if they're your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband's friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, sisters, mothers, daughter. I don't care. I want to propose that we start to root this cancer out, that we start to cut it out from our very system. That the moment that someone decides to make a racist remark or does something that could be construed as racism, that we cut them out of our lives. It's not okay anymore. It never was okay, but it's not okay. I don't care. If someone looks at you and they say, well, you know, this group of people is like this, or that group of people is like this, or this group of people is like that, we need to cut that madness, okay? Seriously, I'm about done with it. You know, those of us that come from different cultures, what do you do with us? Put us in the magnificent category? I'm all for that. But then I'll drag everybody else with me that's magnificent. So, you know, we need to seriously start cutting these people out of our lives. Seriously. Let's just think about it for a little bit and really think about, are these people so important to you that you will allow them to subjugate another group of people just because they think that they're better? And usually the people that are racist are the ugliest kid in the room, calling everybody else ugly. You know, so I want you to really think about that. Okay? If someone or anyone decides that they can segment off a whole group of people for the color of their skin, or their nationality, or their belief system, or their religion, and they say, you know, we need to get rid of these people, no. You tell that person that you're getting rid of them. So, all of you, think about this for a second. Spread that message that we need. The way for us to get rid of racism is by getting rid of those people that harbor racism, by shunning those people and getting them out of our lives, or even our acknowledgement. You will find out that is a very small group of people that is spreading a whole lot of poison. And if we just take those people and cut them out of our lives, they will no longer have our power. They will no longer have the power to spread their poison. We need to seriously get rid of them. And, you know, I start with myself. I start with my family. I'll start with all of my friends. And, you know, if you've got friends that are saying, well, you know, this person is just like that, that's how they were raised, and they keep making excuses for someone who is racist, then let that person go too. Let them go, because they're no good to you, they're no good to anybody, and they're no good to themselves. Okay? So just think about that for a second. Any questions at all?
Yeah, we have shout out again because they missed the first shout outs to Stephanie, Miyoko, Vasu, and Tavari.
You said that.
I said that they missed it.
Oh.
Also to Leanne, Rebecca, and Lucia, and Easy. They all say hi. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Lucia has a question.
Lucia.
He says, before I mentioned about the butterflies flying from left to right in front of my car. But as of late, butterflies have been flying from right to left. Do you have a meaning?
Yes. That's from the physical to the spiritual. They're trying to tell you that you need to ground yourself and then move up. A lot of times you go esoteric and move down. And when they're going left to right, that's esoteric to grounding or foundation. And when they go left to right to left, then that is that is foundation to going into esoteric. Okay. So what you need to do is follow the trail that they're going energetically and see what it is that they're trying to show you. We need to concentrate on a blue energy. So if we're going blue, we have to go spectrally with it and say that you have to have a new discipline that you're following, a physical discipline. You're pretty good on the esoteric disciplines and the mental disciplines, but we need to get you into some good physical discipline. And there's so many to choose from. If you get that good physical discipline, it will enable you to ground yourself and you'll be able to see further. Okay. So that's kind of what they tell. How many butterflies were there, or just that you've seen, or is it just a couple?
And Heath and Carrie are also on.
What's up, Heath? How you doing? Hi, Carrie.
Vasu has a question.
Yeah.
She has two questions, actually. The first is, why does spiritual evolution take place in spurts?
Well, because you can't handle it all at once. Your body, your physiology isn't equipped to deal with being in a super conscious state all the time. You have to evolve to that state. That's why we have so many bodies. That's why we have the physical, we have the astral, we have the etheric, and we have the spirit and the soul, but we also have the consciousness, your conscious mind, conscious mind for a conscious body or the physical body. Then you have your subconscious mind. That is your perceptive mind. And then you have the subconscious mind, which unfortunately science always mistakes for they mistake the subconscious mind for the conscious mind, or the subconscious mind for the perceptive mind. And they don't ever get that right. It's your subconscious mind that is a translator of light, sound, and energy. And basically what it does is it translates energy so that you're able to digest it and assimilate it, and so that you're able to understand some of the things that are out there for you to understand. Then there's your sub-super consciousness that causes you to have those moments of revelation, that moment of that burst of superhuman strength, that we've talked about from time to time, and that's the state, that's how you get these evolutionary jumps, is in just little spurts, so that it doesn't totally overload your system. That is your super consciousness. Now, your super consciousness is you, all that you can be. However, you live in a third dimensional existence, an existence that actually supports some level of temporality. And because it supports some level of temporality, that means that things ebb and flow, okay? And since they ebb and flow, just like us humans, we ebb and flow, and it's in our very makeup, no matter what we do. Where it's left, right, up, down, in and out. It's inhale and exhale. It's just that way. And when we can perfect that, what we can do is we can bend it. We can have moments of evolution or evolutionary prose, and then we have to do a recharge. It's kind of like a lightning bolt. Have you ever watched a lightning storm? A lightning bolt will discharge, and then it has to recharge again. And sometimes there's enough electromagnetic energy in it so there does a constant discharge, but they're never just one giant lightning bolt that goes on forever. It's just because of the third dimensional reality, everything that we do and everything that we are has to recharge itself so that it can discharge itself. Okay, so it's the same. You have to build up a certain amount of energy so that you can use that energy. And this is and I'll explain this to you, so that you can use that energy. And then once you've dispersed all of that energy, or disseminated all of that energy, it has to build up again. Okay, it just has to do that. And you know what we call that dissemination? when you finally put that energy into everything that it needs to go to, which causes you to make an evolutionary jump or stabilizes you in that evolution, we call that balance. The mistake that most people do is they try to hold on to balance. Balance is not meant to be held on to. Balance is meant to be attained, okay, so that you can take your next step. It's just that way. You're not supposed to stay in a perfect state of balance all the time, because that means you're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. You're just at that place. You're always meant to evolve. And we live in a very slow vibration. So we have to go left, right, left, right, left, right. I mean, the examples are always with us. You have a left hand and you have a right hand. You have left brain, you have right brain. You have left side, you have right side. You know, it doesn't mean any one of them is any better than the other. It merely means that you have to use them both in order to attain any state of balance. So one evolves, the other evolves. One evolves, the other evolves. And that state of balance that you reach in between is not what you're supposed to hang on to.
Naming puppies.
It's not what you're supposed to hang on to. It's what you're supposed to transition through.
Sorry.
Okay? Is that Bucky?
Yeah, he's having
Okay.
a bad dream.
You know, yeah, I don't know if he's having a bad dream.
You've only been alive for 2 weeks. What are you dreaming about?
So we need to understand that you take those evolutionary jumps, and you're supposed to get as much of that evolutionary jump in as possible, understanding that there's going to be another evolutionary jump. Now, the more in touch you are with your dimensional selves, the more jumps you get. And why? Because you're constantly grounding yourself so that you can get another charge. Okay? Old saying, old teaching. Think of it however you choose to teach, however you choose to think of it, but it is very valid and very true. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, which basically means that enlightenment happens all the time, but it's just like a film frame. There's little frames that go all the way through it. And if you make those frames happen fast enough, what happens is it looks like a continuous stream, or it could even feel like a continuous stream, but it's actually in frames. And you're supposed to keep yourself grounded so that you can always maintain a healthy perspective. Otherwise, you get something that my teacher used to call space neurosis, which basically means that you lose all concept of this third dimensional reality and start really seriously going in circles.
That was your next question, was how do you recognize that you're heading for a spiritual crisis, or can you recognize a crisis in the
Yes, you
person?
can. A spiritual crisis can be a lot of different things, though. I mean, I gave you one example with space neurosis. It's like losing all awareness of your physical dimension and only, being in that esoteric dimension, which is what a lot of people actually do. And unfortunately, they kind of miss the point. You're supposed to be your evolved self in this incarnation to the degree that you can. Okay? And there are people that will give up every single thing just to sit and evolve or think that they are evolving. And they may get a lot of knowledge, but they kind of miss the point. You need this body in order to do what it is that you're going to do. So a spiritual crisis, that depends on the nature of the spiritual crisis. You can always tell if you lose touch with your reality, or you lose touch with the physicality, or you lose touch with those things that need to happen on a daily basis, you're in a spiritual crisis because you're really actually going nowhere. Now, if all of a sudden you evolve and you are so enlightened that you disappear off of the face of this earth, congratulations.
Hey, that monk did it.
Well, there are several people that have done it, not just that
Well,
one.
I was thinking of the shaman
Yeah.
monk that I saw, his imprint.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he
Still
did
in
it.
the
He
rock.
did more than that.
Yeah.
But there have been
Dude's
many,
still
many
there.
incarnations of people that have done the same thing. That's only one
I
example
know,
out of a million, maybe.
I know.
So that's enough. So you have to realize that a crisis can be different things. If you start to lose your perspective, that is a crisis. If you lose your perspective to the degree that it starts to affect your physical body, you're in a crisis and you need to seek help. okay, for someone that can actually put you back on the path and ground you. But if you ever find yourself in that particular situation, it's really simple. It's so simple. Pick up a broom, sweep the floor, get yourself back in touch with things, do some gardening, wash the dishes, clean up your room, get a job, go to work, keep a job, okay? Get a job doing something physical. I don't mean sitting at a desk and doing the same thing as you're doing when you're sitting in your meditation position all day. I mean, get a job where you actually move around and do something. It's okay. You'll be forgiven. It's all right if you get like a waiter job or a waitress job or some kind of job that is a menial task like cleaning toilets and stuff like that. It's okay. As a matter of fact, it can do you a lot of good. See, because one of the key points in evolution and spiritual development that people forget often is one of the most humble places that you can be in, and that is the level of service. You learn you learn how to serve, and you will learn how to evolve. They go hand in hand. The yoga of service is always tied in with the yoga of love. And the yoga of love is always tied in with the yoga of evolution. They go hand in hand. You cannot separate them. If you are separating them and you say, well, I like, showing people love, but I really am not into that service thing, then you're not into love. You're kidding yourself. Where there is real love, where there is evolution, there is always service. Remember that. Every great master that has walked the face of this earth will look at you and tell you, I'm a servant. I serve the universe. They serve God. They serve Goddess. But you must understand what service is. And if carrying someone's plate or cleaning someone's dishes or washing someone's toilet helps you to understand service, then you should be glad to have attained that position. You should be exceedingly glad because you are getting the opportunity to learn service and to acquire that particular energy. There are many people that call themselves servants, but are not looking to serve anyone other than themselves. So that's one. If you have lost your sense of service, then you are in a spiritual crisis. The moment that you lose touch with reality, you're in a crisis. You see, because spirituality is reality. Reality is not just about what it looks like, what it feels like, or, this is the third dimensional reality. You see, this third dimensional reality is also tied into a multi-dimensional reality, which enables it to be a third dimensional reality. It is called being real with yourself, being honest with yourself, being honorable with yourself, and learning how to serve everyone. It is also understanding and knowing what everyone is going through. And if you can't understand it, at least have enough sense that you can accept it, what a person might be going through. For those of you that are in the light practitioner stage, understand this. You will always be servants. Many of us seek to obtain mastery, or what our idea of mastery is. And we like to think up clever things and say clever things about mastery. When you have mastered something, you know that you have mastered something. But you also have enough sense that even within that thing that you believe that you have mastered, there's another level of mastery. There's always a level of mastery. Now, people will come and tell you all kinds of things, especially people who are wanting to learn. They will come to you and say things like, well, the master can learn from the student. No, no. Absolutely not. It is not for the student to decide whether or not the master can learn anything, because the student is not a master. That, when a student tells a teacher that, they have reached the height of disrespect and arrogance. I never said that to my teacher. I never even carried that attitude, and believe me, I was Mr. Attitude. But I had enough sense to understand and know that that person that I am learning from is superior to me, and I am here to learn what they know, not quote to them about what I have read in some book somewhere or on the internet or heard somebody else say. If you are going to learn from a teacher, shut your mouth, learn. Once you have learned that teacher's way, you go on to practice what you have learned from that teacher until the point in which you feel that you've mastered. And then when you get the opportunity to teach someone else, you will teach them your way. And why? Because you have mastered the way. But understand that there is always a better way to teach. There is always a better form of mastery. There is always evolution. Evolution is not finite. Evolution is moving. It is constantly moving. The word in and of itself is a verb. Evolve. What am I doing? I'm evolving. It is active. And you have to think of all of those wonderful words and all of those wonderful terms that are within the realm of evolution. And one of the biggest words that there is, one of the biggest properties of evolution is one simple thing that no one loves to take a look at, that no one wants to accept, that no one wants to just key in on and stay within the realm of that particular place. And it is called patience. And why? Because you all think that patience is waiting for something. Patience is moving. It's one of the key lessons that I learned. Patience is active. It is moving. It is always moving towards a goal, one step at a time, making sure that that step is certain, doing all of the things that you need to do and to enable that particular step to be perfect. It is always moving. It is always accepting. It is always learning. It is always correcting. It is always moving forward. It is always receiving. It is always giving. And it always produces. No, maybe you can't go to where you can go and pay $300 and have someone draw little symbols over your head and call you a master in a week or two or maybe a month. But you will ever be moving towards your goal and evolving the way that you are supposed to evolve so that you can attain a level of mastery that you are certain of. Remember that. All of us would evolve instantaneously if we could. But the key point is that you can. You can all evolve. Now, you may have to give up your idea of what you think evolve is. Does it mean that you'll sprout wings and go floating off to some anime tune? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, other questions.
I understand, but I am teaching right now.
Mhm.
However, it does mean that even if you evolved just a little, you have still evolved. So remember, your spiritual crisis is when you have lost touch. But you can get yourself back online. Remind me to tell you all of an experience that I had with my teacher in learning what she called karma yoga. Okay. I hope that helps you out, Buster. What do you have?
Shelly and Heath say hi.
Hi, Shelly and Heath.
Lucia has a response to the butterfly thing. And he says, "That's great, thank you. Physical discipline has been on my mind, and I just picked it up." He says, "I'm super serial about it."
Cereal.
I stopped physical strength training because I somehow injured my elbow, and I still don't know what caused it, but I'm back at it, and your answer was spot on. He says, "You're a beautiful man, and I appreciate you."
Oh, thank you.
He says, "There was one black butterfly yesterday or the day before that came from left to right, but it was having trouble flying, and it was flitting on the ground, and I almost ran it over." How do you interpret that?
Well, the black butterfly or that particular vibration may bring the connotation of a message from the other side. But aside from the physical attribute or the physical thing that that particular creature was going through, we're just going to go with the symbology. And that could be a message that is no longer available to you, or one that is running out of its energy. Okay, so if there was something that was trying to get through to you, its strength has weakened. So it may or may not even apply to you any longer. So, or perhaps there was an opportunity to do something that you did not do, and now the energy is running out for it. So if there's something that you're thinking about that you need to get done, good time. Good time to do it.
Russell says, "Yes, it does. Thank you. I will remind you about karma yoga with your teacher next week or next to next week."
Great.
Shelly has a question.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "How can I do research on a dream? I think I really dreamt of a man that was a soldier from World War II, but he is older now. What happened in the dream? I guess I played a friend of this guy, and he had a girlfriend who ended up breaking up with him, and then who he ended up breaking up with, and ended up with me. He went to war, and he came back and married me, but then it was like I was interviewing the soldier in present time, and there's a picture of the woman, and I guess she had passed from cancer, and I have never seen this guy in my life, but I was interviewing him. How can you find out? It felt real, not dreamy-like."
You want to find out if he existed? Do you remember his name? That might give you a good start if you can remember the person's name. That could give you a good start. If you really want to do some research, because there are instances in which a person has had a dream about someone or a person that existed, and then traced that person and found that they did actually exist. In your case, however, I think what the dream was dealing with what you could accept and what you couldn't accept, and that the soldier was perhaps you.
She says no name.
Yeah. I think the soldier was perhaps you, and that you were seeing part of who you were or another time. So, by the way, I'm going to need you to film soon. Okay, so the most that you can do with that, if you really think that you can trace this person, is maybe look through your own history, your own family history, and there may have been someone that existed that is like that. But I'm telling you that I think that it was actually you. Yeah.
Shelly says, wow. It's probably more like, wow, 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 wow.
Something like that.
Lucia says, that is a really great response. I had made a contract in a former life that was brought to my attention that was affecting this life, and I ended that outstanding contract, and the energy is no longer present.
Awesome. Then onward and upward. Okay, anything else?
No.
Hey, remember, you guys, the more questions that you ask, the more I get to teach. What time is it anyway?
8:06.
Oh my goodness. That was a quick shift, huh? All right then.
Starting at 7:30.
Oh, that's right. I get to be till another half an hour. So, what have you got for me?
Dork. Why are you such a dork? I have a question.
Oh, don't hate me because I'm so good.
Oh, whatever.
And what is your question?
My question? I'll have to talk to you later about it.
Why'd you bring it up?
Good.
Dork.
My question was, why are you a dork? It's a legit question.
Most people with my beautiful mind are dorks.
Yeah. Oh, you
It's called the
turn
Peasants
around,
of
go that
Divinity.
way.
All right. So remember, I do teach classes on these things. I teach psychic self-defense. I also teach psychic development and paranormal development. If there is a gift that you have, I can help you develop it. I also teach paranormal investigation. If you're thinking about getting into paranormal investigation, there is a way to do it. Look at that child. Because all they're doing is making noise.
Cersei's.
Yeah, get it. Okay. So you can contact us at Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics. That's www.unicorn-cove.com. Oh, it's okay, baby. It's all right.
I want a puppy.
Okay. No. Or you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. Why are you upset?
He's just
Why are you upset, baby?
She woke him up.
Yeah. Isn't she darling? Look at her. She's gotten so big. Look at her.
Ow. Does she have teeth too?
Yeah, she has teeth too.
They're
They're just coming in.
black little muzzle. Dark.
This is Cersei.
She looks like her daddy.
Yeah, she does look just like her dad. Only she's darker. So, and she's got a big belly. There you go.
Snuggle time.
Or you can give us, you can contact us at www.unicorn-cove.com or www.asktheunicorn.com. I teach by Skype or in person. I do not teach for free. And this is my lifestyle. This is my career. It is not my hobby. By the time I am done with you, you will know something. Okay? And you will know how to develop yourself. And you will be prepared for the next vibrational shift that is going to happen very soon. Just a thought. Okay? We'll talk about that a little later.
Shelly says, thank you, Z. I'll have a good night. I'm going to go. She cooked chicken stew, and now it's time to eat night. We have a question from guest 808-820-820. You say, we spoke of my dreams in a past show where I can control them, have a dream and wake up and then think about the dream and pick up where I left off much more. Now I had a new experience in a dream. I was in a dream and I could smell Italian food. So I woke myself up and for 20 or 30 seconds I can smell it awake.
Yeah, that's your olfactory sense working. One of the most powerful senses you have is actually your olfactory sense. it can influence every single thing else. Okay. And that was probably telling you that there was something in that Italian food that you were needing. That's how you decipher things like that. You know, if you wake up and you're tasting something, there's either something that you need, and because you need it, it's registering on your olfactory sense or another sense, or there's something that is affecting your body in a certain way. And in that particular pattern that you're talking about, I think it was something that you're needing that the Italian food had to offer. And if I, you know, I'm a pretty good Italian food cook.
Feed your babies.
I think that it was probably some of the herbs that are in it. Maybe oregano. Oregano does have a antibacterial quality to it. Link down now. I can yell it if I want to.
Yeah, they said, then I went back to sleep and picked up where I left off. Ended up being spaghetti and meat.
Yeah.
So I woke myself up again and could smell it again.
Yeah.
Meatballs.
There was something that you needed.
Meatballs.
Okay. So that's how you need to listen to what your dreams are telling you. Okay. It's one thing to be able to control the lucidity of them, but you have to understand the messages. And there are thousands of different messages or meanings that one dream can give you. So that one, it was just telling you, you need this. It's like a lot of times a person will say that they woke up tasting chocolate or something like that. Well, there's something in the chocolate that they may need. And a lot of times it doesn't matter what it is that you like. Let me have him. Well, let me have it. Is that Vala or Lithia?
Really here.
Okay, it doesn't matter what you like or dislike. It's what your dreams are demanding that you have. And that means that your body is trying to reach out to you and tell you, listen, I need this. And you're not listening because you think it's about what you like or dislike. It's the same as when you're a kid. You know, there are things that are good for you that you may have liked or not liked. You know, you have to listen to maybe your higher self that's trying to reach you in your dreams. And maybe just give it a shot. Try it. Next time you have a dream like that, try getting that very thing that you need, that you see yourself eating. There may be a multitude of reasons as to why your dreams have decided to try to reach out to you that way. Hi, baby. How are you?
Bucky's playing with Vala.
Okay, this one is Lithia, and
She's got a smaller face.
they're only about three weeks old, but we'll be looking to sell some of them soon. And those of you that want a puppy, you might consider, don't make fast moves towards her lap. She's kind of nervous. Okay, so I hope that helps you out.
Bucky's so happy.
She just wants to be loved. Okay, other questions?
Yes. Lucia says, what do you think about Dr. Sebi and his work? I don't know who Dr. Sebi is.
Dr. Sebi. I was actually, thinking about him today, as a matter of fact, and I was looking at a video of him talking about not how people shouldn't eat broccoli.
That's the way Honduras.
Yeah, and the conditions of
Bucky.
the conditions of his death are rather suspect. I think that he had a lot to say, and I can follow what it was that he was saying, and I think that I agree with most of it. Once you break things down. Who is that? Stop it.
Bucky.
Why is he causing? Go get him. Why is he causing trouble? Don't just let him do that.
I don't know if that's Bucky.
Don't just let him do that. Okay.
Oh, shh.
I think that he's a very intelligent man.
No, it's not Bucky.
I think towards his demise, he saw what was happening or what was going to happen. So he got as much as he possibly could. And I think that he was very valid in what he said. I do know that some of the foods that he was telling people not to eat, he's correct. He's very correct.
This one, Vala.
Here. She just needs to be held and rubbed constantly. I'll take Vala.
No, you just want Vala because she snuggles.
Yeah. And this
I
one's
don't get to
Vala.
see you anyways.
Look at their faces. So I hope that helps you out. I think that Dr. Sebi, like a lot of the holistic doctors that have mysteriously died over the last year, I say died. I should say died. I think that they all were trying to get through to us that there are so many things that are healthy and good for us, but there are so many things that have been engineered that are very harmful to us that we've been told is all right. You know, and we really need to start investigating that. You know, this whole GMO thing, we seriously, people need to take an active interest in their own lives and understand that there are things out there that just because they may taste good to you, that doesn't make them good for you. And at the same time, you have so many places that are springing up. And I was telling someone about this. There's like Dunkin' Donuts, there's Aroma Joe's, there's all of these little places that serve pretty much crap that everyone wants to go to because they're being lazy. They're being lazy. They refuse to get out of their cars and they want to go through a drive-through. And then you have places that are very wholesome that are having a hard time because people insist on eating a bunch of crap. You know, business is business. I get that. However, if you have the opportunity to grow your food, or you have an opportunity to cook, or you have an opportunity to go to some place that you know that you're actually going to get food that is good for you, that will not harm you, that is not made of plastic, chemicals, and all kinds of crap that you don't know what it is, I suggest that you go to that place.
Yeah,
Okay.
people will still complain.
I'm sure they will. But you know something? You can complain if you want to, but go to these places and eat better and you'll feel better. And that's what Dr. Sebi was trying to tell people. You know, stop going with the fad. Stop going with what you saw on TV. Yes, that's exactly what I say. So this is what I've had to preoccupy myself with, even when I'm doing something like editing, or I get home and have to start editing. I have to babysit again. I mean, and they're all sweet.
Just Cersei.
Yeah, they don't like being in the box. They like just being on the floor.
You want me to take them up?
So, are there any other questions besides that?
Cersei.
Oh, another thing. I think, is anyone puzzled by the fact that no one is up in arms about all of these doctors that have mysteriously died over the last year? Holistic doctors that came out and said, listen, this is a cure for this, and this helps this, and all of a sudden they turn up dead. No one thinks that that's suspect. No one has any reactions to that. No one thinks that there's someone out there taking out holistic doctors so that the big pharmacy companies can just poison us. Isn't that something to react about? Excuse me. Isn't that something to react about? Just a thought. What else you got there?
Guest 820 says thank you.
Very welcome.
He's looking at me like, wow.
Boy, I don't even know the reason for eyelashes. Okay, so what else have you got there?
Puppy.
Hello.
That's it.
Okay.
Did
You
you
just wanted to pick them. Give me bucket.
No! Look, she's getting tangled up in the cord.
Yeah, she's fine. Okay. So if you have any other questions, I'm ready to answer. This is the boy. This is the only boy that we have. We only have one boy, and that's Bucky.
Dude, seriously, look, Cersei's getting. Yeah, keep going that way. Good job.
Come back this way.
Okay.
Go that way.
So if you have any questions, I'm here. Don't mind the puppies, and don't mind the little girl.
Baby Bucky.
That's enough.
What?
We have to see if we have questions.
No questions yet. No questions. These people distracted by puppies.
Oh yeah, they reacted to the puppies.
Not yet. Does he have teeth?
Yes, he has teeth. I told you that already.
I haven't seen him yet because you keep taking him from me. Ah,
All right.
why is his tongue so big?
How's it? Pay attention.
There are no questions yet. I am paying attention. Thank you.
For those of you that want to know what kind of puppies these are Chow Chows, and yes, they're purebred Chow Chows. And And this is Lucky Boy. He's like huge. Look at him. He's huge. Right now he looks like a tribble. But another thing, if you were looking for a good series to watch, I might recommend Farscape because I like that show.
Ideas.
It's a very wonderful show. It's very fun, and you can learn a lot from it.
Leanne
For
says,
those that are filmmakers, Leanne says what?
Leanne says, thank you. Definitely something going on there. I sit back and observe most of the time to that and more. And the whole political scene too.
Oh God, the whole political scene. I try not to get into that so much anymore because it's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, we have to be the laughing stock of the world. Seriously, we have to be. I mean, people must be looking. They must look at our election process right now and go, "Are you serious?"
Lucia says, I'm doing some market research for a hemp-based clothing line I'm thinking about launching because hemp is much more eco-friendly than cotton and can help revive the natural state of the world. What do you foresee with that?
I foresee the same thing that I saw about hemp about 30 years ago. I know that you're young and you're very, very zealous, and I can appreciate that. The hemp thing has been around for years and years, and they'll always find a way to fight it in one way, shape, or form. At least the big pharmacy companies and people that really don't want all of us to be healthy. They will always find a way to fight the use of hemp. They will find ways. I mean, I had hemp material shirts.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
I mean, and I loved them. But then, I also lived in Omaha, Nebraska for a couple of years, and marijuana grows indigenously there. It was the oddest thing, I was like,
come on, Bucky, he wants to come to me.
I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, and then, I moved to Omaha, Nebraska, and when I got there, I walked down the street, and there were like marijuana plants growing, and I just walked down going, hey, what? Hey, and I said, do you know that there's like marijuana plants out there that someone's growing? And they said, no, it grows here. And they took me to these fields where it was just growing, and it was basically hemp. But they had been making, of course, most of the rope was hemp and all that good stuff. But they had been making shirts, and they'd been making clothing and necklaces and things from it for quite some time, and it helped people. I got to be one of a group of people that was called Mellow Rangers, and some of them would have the hemp necklaces, and it helped them, and I got one, and had my hemp shirts, and I thought they were pretty cool. It's an interesting vibration to have.
I have a question.
Yeah. What is it?
Question from Marshall. Are there certain plants or herbs that stimulate specific channels or circuits in the etheric body and no effect on the physical body?
There are all kinds of herbs that will do that for you. I mean, we were just talking about one of them. Who is that?
That's Cersei, and your other one is crawling underneath.
Give me Cersei. There is hemp that does that.
The other one is going
Even
that way.
cotton can do that. There's also muslin that does that if you look at the materials.
I'm sorry.
You're as bad as them.
Well, you're losing one that's going that
No,
way.
it's fine. It's fine. Don't panic. It depends on what you want. Do you need, for meditation, there's sandalwood, there's frankincense, there's copal, there's benzene, there is, it just depends on what it is that you want to do. If you want to help your etheric body, of course, you use pine, you use lemon, you use bergamot, which works really, really good as far as oils go. There's bee balm that works very, very good. Hi, baby. I know you're all upset, aren't you?
They don't even know.
Yeah,
Bucky's exploring the cables.
I understand. It's okay. Stop talking about the dogs. Okay, so you just have to investigate perhaps at some point in time I can bring you around and you can I can educate you on the use of herbs. If you can find different materials. I know that people like to use things like satin and silk. Silk is pretty good, but satin I've never really gotten into. Not have I gotten into velvet because I think it dampens everything unless you're going to use it on your altar. Then it works as a good buffer. Leather is always something that's very, very good, but it depends on what you're using. You can also get a similar effect from a faux leather or a suede cloth. I know, baby, I'm sorry.
I can't
Okay.
find it.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's all right. It's all right.
Just passed out over there, so leaving her there.
Well, maybe it's just too hot.
Do you think?
Turn the fan down. No, turn it down again. Okay. So I hope that helps you out. By the way, Marshall, sorry I missed you the other day. They told me that you came back. Easy.
He's freaking out. She went on your shirt.
Oh, maybe that's why she was upset.
Need help?
Obviously. For those of you, the little puppy had an accident, but I'm used to that. I'm the oldest of 8 kids. It doesn't faze me. But there are many different materials that you can use. It just depends on what you want to produce. If you're looking to get yourself in touch with some, using a material that would get you in touch with your etheric self or the etheric field of the earth, then I might say no material really. Just go out and get in touch with the etheric field of the earth. You're always in touch with it anyway. Okay. So I hope that helps you out.
It says for the higher circuits or the central channel. And thank you for your answer. It does help.
It's more the vibration or the vibrational frequency that is going to get you in touch with different centers. Remember, your chakras vibrate to different colors, or they vibrate to different frequencies, and because of that, it causes a color. You might determine which chakra you're trying to get in touch with, and then emulate that particular color. And for that, you're going to actually have to be in a good spot, like a power spot that we were talking about last week. If you can find a place that actually has the vibration that you're looking for, or you can find a material that has the vibrational frequency that you're looking for, particularly the color. If you're going to do something to get in touch with your higher centers, my suggestion is for you to, if you want looking for a material, it would have to be light, and it would definitely have to match the vibration of your chakra color, or that chakra color. It just depends on you. There's indigo, there's white, there's violet, then there's a pure white or an electric blue white, or maybe you're dealing with a throat chakra, which happens to be blue or green, and a combination of blue and green, or maybe your third, which is orange and sometimes yellow, or your second, which may be deep red to purple, or your base, which is red. It just depends on what you're trying to get in touch with. Remember, it's only society that causes us to have to even use material to cover our bodies with. Okay? You came into this world naked. You didn't come in wearing any kind of material. So that's something you would have to determine for yourself. What is going to get you in touch with the energy that you're trying to get in touch with? In the medical profession, I think it's very apropos that many of the doctors wear white, because white, which represents Pluto, which represents Pisces, which represents healing. So, or pure healing, which is pretty apropos. But they'll also use yellow and green, which is, many of you know, is healing. But astrologically speaking, green is Libra, which represents union and balance and justice. So, you're talking about yellow, you're talking about Gemini, which is logic, which is what doctors have to operate in all the time, because they can't be emotional over anything. Emotions will tarnish what it is they're trying to do. So if it's also healing, you're dealing with Eastern, which is meaning ending a bad pattern and beginning a new pattern. So It just depends. You'll have to know what the vibrational frequency wheel is in order for you to be able to call upon the attributes of the different vibrational frequencies. Okay, and even in your material, you can use just a piece of simple cloth, and as long as it has the vibration that you're looking for, it will produce what you're trying to look for. Here's the thing about mysticism. Mysticism is never supposed to be expensive. Okay, it's supposed to be very, very simple. It is supposed to be very, very in touch with things. You know, I don't care if you have the only piece of material that you have is a simple piece of material that has a certain vibration on it. That has a certain, maybe there's a symbology or a marking or a color on it, and if it produces for you, that is going to be apropos. You know, you get a lot of people that go out and say, I got this silk from the Isles of Crete or whatever, and that doesn't make it any more valuable than getting it from the forest of Maine. You know, it's all in what you put in it. Now there are certain metals that produce a certain vibration, silver, platinum, a combination of different metals such as gold and silver combination, maybe with a tiny bit of platinum, could produce something that will vibrate very easily and create a certain vibration. A combination of silver and gold charged in a certain way will cause something that would be electrum or equivalent to electrum, which would conduct massively electromagnetism, which basically means conduct thought, because thought is electromagnetic. So it just depends on what you're going to use. Many people use crystals, and I did too, and I used all of these materials until I didn't use them anymore or didn't need them anymore. The whole idea of using things such as crystals or metals or materials is to learn them and to master them, and then to evolve beyond them so that you become the material, so that you become the metal, so that you become the crystal. And but they are necessary. Don't get me wrong; they're very, very necessary. They're just not supposed to be permanent. You know, otherwise they become a crutch. And you'll say, "Well, you know, I can't fight this off because I don't have this garnet." But see, if you have the garnet within you, the energy of that garnet within you, you can deal with what you need to deal with that you would normally use a garnet for. Everything is thought. Remember that, and everything is dimensional. Remember that. Now, the physical, astral, and etheric realm is something that you're steeped in all the time. No matter what you do, you're going to be steeped in it. Okay? Learn your etheric realm. Okay? Learn your how to communicate with that which is around you all the time. Remember, we all live in the Earth's etheric field, and we are all etherically connected. Understand that. That basically means that you should be able to draw knowledge from any single place that someone has established here within the etheric field of the earth. You just have to learn to be in touch with it and vibrate to it. And you know, I get asked all the time, well, how do you know all of this? Well, because I have become adept in that particular usage. I stand in a library of knowledge. And at any moment in time, I can call upon any of that knowledge. It's not exclusive to me. I happen to be born with a lot, but then I did a lot. I was serious about my spiritual development, and I still am serious about my spiritual development. 100%. It's not a joke. It's not something I play with. There are certain things, and she'll tell you, there are certain things I just do not joke about under any circumstances. One of them is my relationship with the Holy Spirit, or anyone else's relationship with the Holy Spirit. Nor do I allow a person to joke about their relationship with the Holy Spirit in my presence. You see, it is the Holy Spirit that causes that etheric field. that makes that etheric field able to sustain life. And if you build a relationship with that Holy Spirit that is already there, but you have to become aware of it and actually be an active and integral part of it, you'll understand. You'll understand that that etheric field is always open to you. That etheric realm is always there for you and is a part of you. You cannot be separated from you. It is only in your conscious mind. It is only in your head that you believe that you are separate from it. And because you believe that you are separate from it, you create a separation, which is merely an illusion in the first place. So I hope that helps you out.
It's 8:36.
Okay. Any more questions?
No, just hi from Angie Chandler. Hey, Angie Chandler.
Hey, Angie.
And guest 820 is actually Ron St. Hiller. All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Glad you made it to the show. And
Yep.
that's it.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. And please tell your friends about the show. The more people that join us on the show, the more questions I get asked, the more I get to teach. And, you know, if I get asked a lot of questions, you know, I'll teach you things that you just have not heard of. I'll teach you the things that I have to teach you. I stand in the middle of a library that is filled with knowledge and lessons and teachings. It's hard to explain that. I'm one of those that does get to see the Akashic Records. I'm one of those that does get to see the Karmic Library. I'm one of those that doesn't need to find out what the Vatican has in its vaults, although I think that would be really fun, you know. So I'm one of those that has actually seen the Book of Life and know that it does exist. So does the bread of life. You know, so tell everyone about the show. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Remember, stay clear of the madness if you can. If you can't stay clear of it, just get through it really, really quickly and then go home and take a bath. Okay. Until next week, thank you all. Have a wonderful week. Unicorn out.